folks, thank you for watching my video, much appreciated. If you are a regular viewer of my channel, once again, thank you for joining me. If you are new here, then I certainly appreciate you as well. And let me just take a minute to explain what I do here. I try to make website design easy to understand for the common person, try to break it down at a smaller bite-sized pieces for everybody to understand. Normally, I do a lot of coding videos, but I also enjoy working with WordPress. And yes, in 2021, WordPress is still relevant. There may be other options out there, but WordPress is still a very viable option that a lot of businesses, especially small businesses, use. It's easy to use. You have to get used to it a little bit, but for the most part, it's very easy to use. Um, and it really doesn't take all that much, and you can get it set, you can get an entire website set up within a day, maybe two if you're adding uh, products to sell and stuff like that. It takes a little bit more setup, but I'm going to make one of those videos as well. In today's video, we're going to build a website for free. It's going to have a contact form. It's going to have functionality, meaning um, making the website interesting and for people to engage with it. I'm going to show you how to link all your social media accounts, which is very important, and especially in 2021. And we're going to do it for free. So if you like that sort of thing, I urge you to subscribe to my channel because I upload usually every Friday night, and I do cover a variety of topics, but I like to explain things very simply for the average person who may not have that much experience, because I remember when I didn't have that much experience, and I just want to, help out with that. So if that sounds good, please consider subscribing. If you find this video at all helpful, even in the littlest bit, please leave a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you have any follow-up questions, then feel free to leave a comment. I get back to people almost right away. With all of that out of the way, we're going to start off. I don't like to go on and ramble. Just wanted to let everybody know about that. So what we're going to be working with, like I said, is WordPress, and we're going to be doing it everything for free, except for purchasing your domain name and your web hosting, which you cannot get away from. There's a few workarounds, but usually they're not very good. Uh, having that been said, that's the only thing you pay for, and usually that's depending on what you want, and I'm going to go over that next. Um, you can get a decent website and domain name for no more than $100 a year. Actually, I think some of them are like $60 a year, depending on what you buy. Uh, or you can go up to, you know, $1,200 a year, and you'll have something really nice. And I'm going to go cover both ends. So let's do that. The first one is called, Bluehost.com. Uh, as you can see, $395 a month. Now, of course, you pay the whole year, but you get a free domain name for your first year, free SSL, meaning that if you're collecting emails or you're selling things, you need this. It means that your site is secure and that it has a secure connection between user and host, meaning the website itself. One-click WordPress installation, which is extremely good, especially for our purposes, and the support for Bluehost is pretty darn good, especially for the low cost. So Bluehost, good one. The only downside is that it's what they call a share hosting, meaning that your website is on the same computer, the same server as hundreds or possibly thousands of other websites. So sometimes your website is a little slow, but I've used Bluehost before and they're not too bad. It happens maybe once a month, if that. So it's not too bad. The other dealio is HostGator. They're very similar. They have a lot of the same features. Shared hosting, of course, they are. WordPress hosting. Uh, very similar. So very similar to Bluehost. Their pricing is pretty similar, and they have a support system for, with helping with getting your WordPress site installed. Of course, they don't help you with designing it. That's where I come in. Um, the last one I'm going to talk about is something for that $1,200 a year, and I don't think it's quite that much. It's less than that. Um, Next is Nexus.net. Now they have all types of things. These are more for like companies, like bigger companies. You get your own dedicated server or your own dedicated computer, which means that your website is the only thing that runs on that. So it's extremely fast. Um, they have a really great customer service. They have chat and call. I use this myself, and it's fast, good quality, um, but you're going to pay for it. It's a little higher. In fact, I could show you for WordPress. So for one site, it's $190 for 12 months. That's not too bad. Now, of course, if you want more, up to 5 sites, almost 800, 10 sites, and they go up and up and up. So that's just some of your options. All these, by the way, have one-click WordPress installation. Um, so lucky for us, you don't have to do this. But I'm going to do it just in case. So this is what happens after you install WordPress. This is the screen that you see. I'm using localhost, which is a program that runs WordPress on my computer. So it doesn't have to be hosted anywhere. That's why you see localhost website. So this is pretty self-explanatory. Continue in English or whatever language you're doing it in. Um, we're going to give our site a title. We're going to call this, let's see, great photos. I'm gonna do a photographer website. I'm going to say username is great user, and it gives you a suggested strong password. I suggest you use that or some other form of strong password, uh, so that your website is less vulnerable. That's the number one thing to making your website secure, is this password for you to log into the back end of WordPress, and you'll see what that is in a second. Put your email. I'm going to put my email. Please don't spam me. And this one, discourage search engines from indexing your site. Leave this unchecked. I'm going to check it. It doesn't really matter, but leave it unchecked because you want your WordPress site to be indexed by search engines. Yeah, sure. All right, so log in. Okay, and then you log in with your username and password that you just created. Okay, we're logging, we're logging, we're logging, we're logging. Hang about, hang about, hang about. Okay, so this is what you see when you with a brand new WordPress site. Okay, so these are all your tools over here on the left hand side. This is your dashboard. Up here is your WordPress menu bar. This is your user information. Over here is, what is this? Oh, these are your updates for your plugins, which you'll have to do from time to time, but that's no big deal. This is how you view your website. This is how your website will look, or something similar. This is how you view your website, uh, to view your website. Visit site. Okay, so this is the website. So here is our home, which is this. Our updates, which I'll get to in a second. You can post things like news articles, your media library, meaning all your images and PDF documents, your pages, of course, like your about, contact, etc. Comments, we'll talk about that in a little bit because we want to disable them. Your appearance, this is where all your design work comes in, okay, and we'll get back to that. These are your plugins, which we're going to do next. Users for your site, this is this is us, if you want to add somebody so they can log into the back end and post things or whatever, but if it's just you, then don't worry about that. Your tools, we're not going to get into that. Your settings, you could go to general, but all this will be all that. You don't really have to worry about this. It's just, I mean, whatever. You can delete that. That's your tagline. Don't worry about that. This is your WordPress URL. This is the administration, which is the email that you put in the beginning. So it does all that for you. So you don't really have to worry about this. Let me see. Reading, homepage. Don't worry about all this because that's all taken care of in this appearance, our customization. Don't worry about all that. All right, you don't have to worry about any of this, especially in the beginning. Okay, so first thing we should do, we're going to install plugins. So this is our plugin page. You can add new. Here's the current plugins that they give you by default. WordPress. I usually don't use these, so I just delete them. Just select and delete. I usually just delete them. You don't really need them. Okay, so we have no plugins. So we're going to add two plugins. Okay, one is called Elementor. So this is the add new plugin section. So there's, they give you just, I don't know, popular ones or whatever. We're going to come here and search Elementor. And it's this one right here, Elementor Website Builder. Now, what Elementor is, I'll show you. It's basically a click and drag interface for building websites. There's a few of them out there, but Elementor is one of the best and easiest to use. So you'll see when we get into it. It's really easy to use and friendly, even if you're not used to using website stuff. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and also click activate on that. Okay, good. One thing I wanted to show you, sorry about that, I skipped. So we're going to go back to that where we added the plugin of Elementor. Come on, I'm running slow tonight, sorry guys. Elementor, okay. We're in the add new plugin. So remember, so here was our Elementor. This other one, this premium add-ons for Elementor, I'm going to install it. You can if you want, you don't have to. It's just a few extra features for Elementor that are free. By the way, everything that we do here today, like I said, except for hosting and your domain name registration is all free. We're not paying anything extra and you're doing the work yourself, so it saves you in the end. We're going to add one more plugin, which is called WP Forms. And this is a contact form that's really super easy to use. This is also one I suggest you install. In fact, I'll install it now. It just helps push when somebody submits a form, a contact form, a customer or a user on your website submits a form, it just pushes that form submission to your email. Because sometimes sending an email from a website is one of the hardest things to do, even in 2021. For whatever reason, it has to do with spam, especially if you have a Gmail account, a Google email account, and you try to send an email from your website to your email. Sometimes it gets rejected for whatever reason that's beyond my knowledge. Okay, so we're going to activate that puppy. This WP Mail List TMP. Also gonna, so it brings us back to the plugins page. I'm also gonna activate this other one. So see how it has this blue border on there? That means it's activated, and it changes screens all the time. I'm sorry. Okay, so that's all we need to get started. Okay, so next we need a theme, meaning right now, of course, our website looks like this. It doesn't look that great, obviously. So our theme is kind of like structure. It's going to give our website some structure. and then we're going to rearrange the pieces of it and give it some style. Obviously, I mean that's the main point of it. So right now we have these 2021, 2019, 2020 themes on here. You can delete these if you want. You don't have to. It doesn't really matter. Theme details, delete. You don't really have to, but I like to just to avoid it. Theme details, delete. It saves also uh, if your site's running a little slow. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here just like the plugins, except this is a theme. And we're going to add a new. Okay. We're going to come again to the search bar just like the plugins, and we're going to type Sydney, which I always forget how to spell. Yeah, and you want this welcome to Sydney, not this one. This one here with this laptop thing. Okay, and we're going to install. So this gives us some general pre-built stuff, but we're really going to kick it up and make it look nice. Okay, good. So it's installed, and then we activate just like the plugins. So install and then activate, and then you're good to go. And then, so basically that's how it works. You install it, you activate it, and then you customize it. And that's really all there is to it, to be honest with you. I'm going to delete this one too, just because I'm anal. Okay, so we have our theme. This is our theme here. So let's see, what's best? All right, let's go to, um, hmm. Okay, so let's go to customize. So under appearance, you go to customize and it brings you to this screen here. So it's got your website on the right. Notice how it looks different now that we've installed our Sydney theme. I'll show you the front end. This is the front end, by the way. This is the actual website that your customers see. This is the back end where you work. Okay, so this is just what Sydney gives us. Now, obviously, it looks different than what we've seen in the little thumbnail. But we're going to get right into customizing it. General, I've never touched this in my life. It's just basically some. Don't worry about it. It's basically spacing of the website, but it's um, don't worry about it. It's for really specific customization. Don't worry about it. So here we're going to come. This is probably the most important one. I'm going to delete this, and we're going to say a passionate photographer. I can't spell it. For hire, right? Now we're not, it shows up here, but we're not really going to show that. We're going to instead, this is our site title, which is here, and then our tagline. Instead of that, we're going to upload a logo. So right here, so you click that, and it brings us up this pop-up window. Now this is our media library, which of course is empty because we haven't uploaded anything yet. But in order to upload a file, we're on Upload Files, you click Select, and I'm going to go to this. This is my logo. Not really, it's just a cheap icon that you can generate as a PNG image. You come here, gouger.io/fonticon, and then you can search tree, right? It's running slow. And you can pick tree, and then you can pick the color, and then you go to PNG and download. It gives you like a nice little icon. There's a ton of these. You can your Twitter or whatever. But I'm just using it for this. So our image is uploaded. We're going to choose image, and it replaces that. So that's our logo. This is our site icon, which is this little thing up here. I'm going to use that exact same one. You can upload whatever you want. Again, you can get that from that gouger.io thing that I showed you. Crop image, it'll be fine. There's been an error cropping your image. No. Sorry, let me do that again. Here, select. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm not sure. 512 by 512, it's exactly right. Oh no, it's too big. Alright, I don't feel like changing the size of it. So anyway, so just upload that the exact same way. I don't know why it's not. It's giving me a hard time. Anyway, so just upload it. It works exactly the same. Moving on. Header area. Okay, so our header type. Now keep in mind that this is specific for the Sydney theme that we installed. Okay, other themes have different things. Okay, other themes have different options, but this is for Sydney. So we go the next one down below logo, header area, header type. We're going to select no header and also no header for other sub pages. Okay, just trust me on that. Header slider, we don't need. Header media, we don't need. Menu layout, this is sticky, meaning that when you scroll, the menu stays with you. Or you can do static, which means it just stays at the top. So you can play around with that. That's for this bar up here, your menu bar. See, it stays up top. I'm going to leave it on sticky because that's pretty common. Uh, Okay, so menu style inline. Now we haven't created a menu, but inline just means it's in line with your logo. Centered means it puts your logo and menu bar in the center. Choice is up to you, but for this I'm going to keep it in line. Full width and contain, don't worry about that. You can play with that if you want. The Sydney theme also gives you the option to add a button, so you can uh, add a link, like if you have a donation site or something. I'm not donating to Google, screw that. Yeah, you can, whatever. Donate. Okay. And as soon as this dinosaur of a computer loads it up, you'll see it in a minute. Open in a new tab just means it opens in a new tab so they don't get lost from your website. Okay, that's all we need for header area. Blog options, you can play around with these. I would suggest masonry grid style. We're not going to be doing any posts today. Font, now your font you can choose. I suggest something without serif, meaning those little tips on the edge of it. I suggest either Roboto or Open Sans. Those are pretty common fonts for today. These are the sizes in pixels of your different text. You could play around with that. I'm going to leave that. Your footer, we're going to do 3, meaning it has 3 sections across, and we'll get to that later. I'm going to leave it at 3. You can play around with it, and you'll see later. General, so these are our colors. I'm sorry. So colors, general. Background color, you can keep white or you can change to gray. I'm going to keep it white for now. Our primary color, I'll keep that for now. I mean, feel free to choose whatever color you want. Body text color, I usually like to put this on a dark 222, which is like a black, but you can choose any color you like. Menu background, again, depends on your color scheme. I would suggest picking, let's see, what I do is popular color schemes. Whoops, wow, can't spell. Popular color schemes 2021. Top trending colors. As soon as it loads. And cerulean, see that, and then they give you this hex code. Shit like that. That's all you need is this little, that's called a hex code, and then you put that in there. Right. Items hover, top level item menus. I'm gonna keep white. Hover, I don't know, I'll give it a blue. Doesn't matter. You know what? So right, so you here, copy and paste. Gives me a green there. Now, of course, we haven't created a menu yet, but we're going to. These are submenus. You could play around with those colors. We're not going to have any of that, and you probably shouldn't either. We're not going to have sidebars, so don't worry about that. Your footer, let's see. Footer widget area, footer widget color. I would leave all these the same because usually footer colors are darker. I mean, you can change this to white if you want. We're going to get into that. Background image, no. I mean, it just changed the background image instead of white. Menu. Here we go. We're going to create a new menu. We're going to say main menu. You can call it anything you like. Select primary menu, which means it's going to go up here as your primary menu. Okay, see there's our donate button that we created earlier. Now we're going to add an item to our menu. Okay, so we're going to create pages at the same time that we add it to our menu. So it's pretty convenient. So first page we're going to add is home. And yes, I know it says it up here already, but don't worry, we're going to do that again. We're going to add about. Okay. Okay, it's adding, it's adding, it's adding. And we're going to add contact. Now, obviously, you might have more. You might have a services page, whatever. I'm just getting you started. Okay, so here. So there we go. So that's our menu. Okay. Um, Again, now you'll notice when we go in the back end, um, it added those pages. Okay, which you'll see in a little bit when we go there. I just want to finish this up. Widgets, don't worry about that for now. We'll deal with that later. Homepage settings, you want to make sure you click a static home page and you want to make it your home. Post page, you can select something else. Doesn't really matter. Theme info, don't worry about it. Additional CSS, we're not going to need any additional CSS, so don't worry about that. Click publish. Okay, it's publishing, it's publishing, it's publishing. It's not very exciting. Bear with me. Okay, published. Whoops. Let me close that. Oh, real quick, I'll show you this other um, uh, thing that I use. Peloton. So if you have a color in mind, like say you want to use purple, this just gives you a color scheme to follow, right? So it gives you all the colors. You could pick 3 colors. You could pick 3 close colors, 4 colors, and it just gives you. It's an old artist thing. It just gives you, you know, color schemes to go by. So that's something. Peloton.com. Okay, I'll leave that in the description as well. Okay, that's just a nice little thing. Okay, let me refresh. Oh boy, I didn't think it was going to be this slow tonight. Okay, so here we go. So we have our logo and our thing, and see when you hover and our donate button. Now, obviously this is going to change, so we're going to get to that, but that's done. So we're going to hit this X and close out of here because we're done with this. So now it's time to dive into Elementor. Now, don't get worried. So here's our home page, our contact and about page that we made. It gives you a sample page. You can go ahead and delete that, as well as the privacy page. Just select them, move to trash, apply. So these are our main pages, right? Now, so we're here, okay? Home, contact, about. Those are all our pages that we created in that customizer menu. So what I suggest and what I like to do is I right click on edit and open in a new tab so that I don't have to continuously go back to this dashboard. This is your main WordPress dashboard. This is editing an individual page. Okay? Now I promise you we're going to get to the click and drag portion of it, so just bear with me. I promise. Now WordPress itself, not that you need to know this, has its own block editor where you can add a bunch of stuff here. We're not going to use that, but it's fine if you want to. So this is editing our page. You can type in here and whatever. It's nice. It's fine. But we're not going to do that. See this little box here? Edit with Elementor. That's what we're going to do. But we have one thing to do first. On the right hand side, you see this little thing that says page. Click that. Come down to page attributes, template. Go to front page. Click update. Now it's updated. Now we go to edit with Elementor. Okay, very important. And that just formats the page for you. Remember how it had has this weird thing and it has this sidebar that we don't want. Changing the template to front page just takes care of all of that. Okay, and that's from the Sydney theme. Okay, so oh my goodness, it's taking forever. Sometimes Elementor does load slow the first time you do it. After this, it's not that long. Okay, so this is Elementor. So here's our navigation bar that we set in the theme. That's part of the website. This part as well. Don't worry about that. And this section here where you see this dotted box and the star and the plus and the folder, that's your Elementor section. Over here, your Elementor toolbar. Okay. Now this one says Pro. Now if you want to pay for that, that's your business. It just gives you more options. So some nice options. If you can afford it and you want to pay for it, by all means. I haven't used it that much, but it's got a lot of nice extra things in there. But since we also added, if you remember, we also added that premium add-ons for Elementor, um, that has some nice stuff and that's free. So see how it says PA here, premium add-on. So it's got some nice stuff in here. We'll try to use that. Basically, Elementor, you just have to play around with it, and it's really great. It's a really great interface. So let's get started. So what do we want to do? First, we want to tell everyone where they're at. This company is called Great Photography. So I'm going to type that in. Always do all your work over here. This side, this section here is strictly for dragging and dropping or just viewing it. Okay, so when you type, don't try to type here, even though it does let you. It didn't used to, I swear. But do all your typing over here. Photography. Okay, good. Now, obviously, that doesn't look too fantastic. Let's see. I'm going to leave it off to the side. You can come down here and center it or right. So this is your content, okay? Where you type. This is your style. This is how we style it. This is the color of our text. Pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to give it this black color again. Yeah, I think so. This is our typography. Font family has all these fonts. You can choose whatever you want. Now, default means it sets it to the font that Roboto or the Open Sans. So it just sets it to whatever the website has as a default. So that's nice, and it helps you stay consistent. This is our size. You can make it as big as you like. Font weight is just, bold or whatever. Transform is all uppercase or whatever. Usually I don't use these that much. Style is italic, whichever. Underline, I mean, I don't use these too much. Line height is if there's more than one line, like if it was a paragraph. Letter spacing is, if you want them, I just leave it at default. That's fine. Great. Now, let's add some text. Now, this is some generic dummy text. You add whatever you like. Do me a favor. When you first install Elementor, there's this little weird thing. It's called toolbar toggle. Click that, you get a lot more options. And again, you have all the same. You can center it. You can make it a quote, which just changes it up. You can change the color. Maybe I'll put it orange. I don't know. It's not going to be a pretty website. I'm just trying to show you different things. You can make it a bullet point. You could bold, italic. Maybe I'll leave it bold. You can change the size of it. A lot of things to play with. You can even add media, which we'll get to next. I'm going to put that back to paragraph. Okay, now this doesn't look too fantastic, so let's change that. Now, so this is your heading and your text. This is what's known as a column. Okay, that's what Elementor is built on. So this entire thing here is a row. This little section here with the dotted lines is a column. If you right click on this little thing, you can edit column, duplicate it, or add a new one. So you add a new one and it adds it again. Now we're not going to be using this here, I'm just showing you. We'll use it in a little bit, but you can add columns all the way across, which is really nice. And then you right click again and delete it. Okay. Actually, yeah, I'm going to leave this other column here. So now we got two columns in our row. I'm going to edit this row, or edit this section they call it. And here we have for our section, boxed or full width means it just goes all the way across. Your column means the width of your columns, but I leave it on default. Column gap, don't worry about that. The height of your section. For this, I'm going to say 800 pixels. So it's going to be pretty, it's going to be a big portion of it because this is your intro to your site. You can change it to the top, the middle. See how nice this is? You could play around with that, or you could stretch it, meaning it goes all the way top and bottom. We're going to put it in the middle for now. Vertical line. I mean, these are just things you can play with. Okay, structure. Uh, whatever. You can just play around with it. Our style. Here's an important dealio. Oh my God, take it forever. Okay, so here's our background. Now, talking about the background of this section, see how it's outlined in blue? That's what we're working on. Okay, so normal. So this paintbrush, classic, gradient, video, or slideshow. We're going to do an image. Now, you can play with all these, but for now, just to get you started, we're going to upload an image that I have. I downloaded some images. Let's see. Which one? Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. This one. Nice little hummingbird there. So we're going to upload that just like we did with our logo. Okay. Insert that puppy. Now, it doesn't look too bad, but we can make it better. See, because we see how this is off to the side and we want our logo, or our title to be over here. So this is the settings for the background image. We're going to click center, center. See how it moves it? That actually looks not too bad there. We're going to leave this default. Fixed means that as you scroll, it stays in one place, which I guess we can leave that. No repeat. Just trust me, put it on no repeat. And we want size as cover. See how I fix it up? And actually, I'm going to change this to white. Now, see how I did that? So I was editing this section. Hold on. Okay, so I'm editing this section. Then I decided I wanted to change this text to white. So I click on it, and then now I'm editing this section. So I'm going to change this to white. Okay, and there you go. Oh, so one thing maybe you want to do, especially since this is your intro, this is the first thing that your customers see when you get to the website. One thing you can do is come over to this advanced section. Don't be afraid. Come to this motion effects. Okay, and then it has a drop down, and you can select different animations or different motion effects. I'm going to select fade in down and see how that does that. So every time your page loads, that'll fade in. Now you can change the speed, fast, slow, normal. You can even delay it. Now keep in mind this goes by milliseconds. So 1000 milliseconds is 1 second. I'm going to leave that at 0 for now, so there's no delay. And I'm going to click on this text. So now we're editing this. I'm going to come to the advanced. I'm going to go to motion effects again. And I'm going to click, let's say, fade in left. So it buzzes in like that. Now this one, I'm going to give a delay. And I'll show you what that looks like on the front end. I'll show you, I'll show you what we got so far. See that? See how it loads real nice? Okay. And then your hummingbird stays in one spot as you scroll. Okay. See how easy this is? Uh, I mean, that's it. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could add a logo. I'm sorry, not a logo, an icon. I mean, there's thousands of them. You can search, let's see, uh, camera, right? Insert it. This is the view, meaning it's got a circle, sorry, framed, square. I mean, you can do all that. You can give it a link. You can style it, of course. Your primary color is that. A secondary color is the background. Size, I mean, you can, whatever, change it. Padding just means, you can play around with all these things. Let's see. Oh, content. Sorry, your alignment is here. One other thing I want to show you real quick. Now, this is getting a little advanced, but basically, so this is what it would look like on a desktop, which is this, right? You'll notice these little square things here next to some of the elements that you can change. If you click that, you can click tablet, and now Elementor shows you what your website's going to look like on a tablet. Now, you can't change everything, but you can change some things. Like, for example, this great photography. See how the size of it is a little bit big for a tablet? So I'm going to change the typography, make that just a little bit smaller. So that when somebody, oh my God, this is taking forever. Sorry, guys. So I'm going to change that, make that just a little bit smaller. Now, find another one of these things. Now you're on tablet mode. Click that, and now it's on mobile. And you can just see what your website looks like on mobile. So it gives you this little hamburger thing and your logo. So it just shows you the different options. Okay, let's move on. Our next section. Usually you have like a little blurb about your about. So what I'm going to do is come over to our toolbar. So if you're editing a section like this, right, you're editing your section and you want to see the toolbar, come up to these 9 dots here, click that and you're at your toolbar. This is for like a general menu if you want to exit out of Elementor or whatever. But this is your toolbar. What I'm going to do is, so to create another section, I'm going to take this text editor, which is to add generic text, and I'm going to click and drag it. Okay. Now we've created another section. These 6 dots here are to select that section, right? And now we're back. Full width, box, column gap. I don't know. I'll leave it like that, whatever. Height, I'm going to make it 400 pixels high. That's pretty standard. 400 pixels high, 600 pixels high, and 1280 pixels high, which is what this is. I'm sorry, it was 800, whatever. Doesn't matter. All right, so that's our section. I'm going to leave this white because we're going to give it some text. I'm going to click on the text, and this is where you do like a little blurb, copy, and I'll do another paragraph. And the way you type is the way it shows up, just like an email. Okay, so let's just say that's about us, right? And maybe give it, make it a little bit bigger. You can select certain things and change the size, or you can do a select all and make it all the same. Right? We can add a title, click and drag, click and drag. Oh my God. Sorry guys, every time I swear I'm going to do a better job. It's not working. There we go. About us. Okay. That's our About Us section. Come back to our toolbar, and right here is a button. Click and drag. Okay. I'm going to say, type in here, learn more. I think you guys are getting the idea. Here's the link. delete that and start typing the name of your page, about, and it pops up. Now it automatically fills in the link for that. This is the type of button, which is sort of a standard set of colors. Okay, you can add, whoops, sorry. You can add an icon to it, a bell or something. I don't know, whatever you want. You can select before or after. These are just things you can play with. You can space it out. Let's see. Here's our styling for our button. If you didn't like these colors that they have, you can do, as soon as it loads, God almighty, guys, I'm sorry. You can change the color. It's pretty ugly. Then this is normal. Okay. You can also add a border, solid, border color. Let's pick something like that. Then you click hover. Now this is what happened. This is whatever you set here will happen when somebody hovers over the button. So let's just change the color. I don't know, border color, to just so you can notice the change. You could also have a hover animation. I usually don't use these for buttons. It's a little tacky, but see, when you hover it over, great. Another section done. Let's see. Let's come back to our toolbar. We're going to create another section. Let's go down real quick. Let's see. Let's do this. This is an icon box. Okay. I mean, and again, there's a million things you can do here. So basically, let's see. Weddings. And then we give a little description. Pick your icon. Oops. Heart. And what I like to do, oh, okay, I'm sorry. So here, we're going to style it real quick. This is for your icon. This is for the content, meaning the text, right? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You just can't be afraid. So we'll give the icon a color. You can change the size. Oh, I'm sorry, you can come back to here and do a frame. That's popular. You can change your content. I mean, pretty much all the text editing is the same, meaning in terms of your options. You know, you can change the font family, the size, all that stuff. You play around with it. Okay, so once you get this done, if say we're going to do 3 of these, right? This photographer has 3 services that he does. So he does weddings. We're going to come over to, remember this that's our column. This is our row or our section. So you can have columns inside of sections. We're going to right click this and we're going to hit duplicate. And then we get another one. So now we only have to change a few things. We're going to say celebrations. Whoops, celebrations. And by the way, if you spell something wrong, this also has spell check. Gives you that little right click and then celebrations. Let's see. Balloon. I don't know if this has a balloon. Star. Sure. I don't know. That's a celebration, right? Sure. See? And then to get it again, duplicate. And then we have another one. Let's say this is um, showers, baby showers. And I think there's a baby in here. Yeah, baby. Right? So, I mean, these are pretty standard, like using these icons like this, and you could play around with it till you get what you like. Or if you see a site that you enjoy or you think looks good, by all means, just copy it. And I wanted to show you something else real quick. So see how on a desktop, let's update this. And let's come to our website, see what we got so far. This gray background for this navigation bar is really bothering me. I shouldn't have put it as that. Okay. Okay. There's our stuff, our hummingbird friend. We scroll our about us, we learn more. That's going to go to our about section. Here's our, so here it is. Here's our services section. So back here in Elementor, remember I said about this, it looks like a TV. Click that and then click tablet. So it still looks pretty much the same. It shrinks it a little bit. Then pick mobile. Now notice how it puts them all in a column now. Up, excuse me, straight up and down. You didn't have to do anything extra. Believe me, I code. I do CSS. I do HTML. I do JavaScript. To get it to do this sometimes is a real pain in the you know what. But Elementor does that all for you. Okay, it's pretty good. So you know what? I think we're done our homepage. Yeah, I think we're done. So we've updated it. Now what I want to do is, say for example, we want this services section to use somewhere else. We're going to right click this little 6 squares and we're going to do save as template. I'm going to say services or whatever you like. Services section. Now, you can save that as a template so that you created it once and now you can drop it anywhere in any page that you like. For example, something else we're going to do real quick, I'll show you, it's helpful. Up here, I'm going to search social, I'll start typing it, I spelled it wrong, social icons. Click and drag, okay? And this is just like a little fun thing to say, hey, I got a, I got, not a WordPress, uh, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. By the way, subscribe to my channel if you don't mind. I'm just going to give this section some quick style, same as I did before. I'll make it 200, something like that. These, you could do circles. You can change, if you click on one of these, here's your link that you paste in for your Facebook account. You could do a custom color if you like, whatever your, uh, if you want to change your business color, or you could just leave it as the Facebook color. It'll automatically put the Twitter blue and the YouTube red on it. Now, let's do that again. So I'm going to save as template. I'm going to say social media, save. Okay, and I'll show you how nice this is to use later on. I think we're done for our homepage. I think we're done. What do you say? Cool. So, because we opened this in a new tab, I'm just going to close that, and we're still here. Now, our About section, let's see. Let me refresh this page. Now, see Elementor, edit with Elementor, right click, open in a new tab to edit it again when you want to make a change, and trust me, you will. Okay, here we are. Now, what I want to do is I want to take this entire page and save it as a template so that I don't have to do it all over again. I'm going to come down here next to update, click this little arrow, click save as template. Save your page to library. I'm going to say page temp, whatever, you call it whatever you want. Save it. This is going to make things way faster. Okay, so just hang on. So now we're saving everything on the page, not just one section. You could do either or. Saving is saving, saving. Title it something memorable, obviously. Something that makes sense. Okay, it's saving. Bear with me, guys. So page temp, there we are. Close that. Close this. Now we're back at our pages. Here's our about. We're going to right click edit because we haven't used Elementor in it yet. And this page shows your latest posts. seen this before. Image, all right. Go back to settings real quick. Actually, you know what? I apologize. Go to customize again. Go to homepage settings and just select. Sorry about that, guys. I had a little mental breakdown there. Okay, so just leave this on select because we're not doing posts. Sorry, not generic. This is not really a content website. That's something else. We're doing just a straight up web page where people can look for information and contact you if need be. Okay, we're on our way. All right, now let's try that again. So right click, edit, open in a new tab, select that new tab. Okay. All right, now that's better. Sorry about that, guys. Now remember, just like we did with the home page, the only thing we have to do here is change default to front page, and don't forget update. Okay, now go edit with Elementor. Okay. Okay, and here we are with that same, like when we started over with the home page. Now, so we have these three dots. This is to add just an empty section. This little folder, my templates, page template, insert. Now, don't make sure to click no on this because that will change our, remember that page attributes thing that we changed to front page template? So click no. It's just something with Elementor and Sydney, but just click no. Okay, and it'll take forever with my computer because I'm running super slow tonight, guys. All right, so there we go. There's our home page. Now, you can do anything you want here. About me. You can right click and delete this. You can change this color to green. Oops, you got to select it. I'm sorry. Change it to green. Um, you can right click in this section. Excuse me. You can make this, we'll say 400. Come over to style. Click the image. We're going to upload another image. Upload an image. I have another image here. Not that one. We're gonna use that one in a little bit. Give me a second. We'll pick these. Excuse me. We'll pick these trees. Lovely trees. Insert media. Okay. Now, so the white on these trees looks a little weird. Right? It's kind of hard to see. It's a little funky. So one thing I want to show you is this right below this background. You can close that to close it, or click it to close it. This background overlay. Let me show you what that does. Click the paintbrush. Pick a color. I'm going to pick like sort of a darker color. See that? See that? It just puts an overlay. It just puts like a sort of like a screen over it. Now this is the opacity. Click and drag it, it makes it darker. So now the words are a little bit easier to see. Now we could have done that on the home page, but it worked out with the image. That's another thing. You want your images to match your website and vice versa. Very important to pick good images. If you're looking for free stock images, by the way, and I'll leave this in the link. I'll leave this link in the description. I'm very tired. These two websites are some of the best used by professionals. Unsplash.com and Pexels.com. You could type in pretty much anything you want. Now, of course, it's limited. They're free, so you're not going to get every picture you wanted. But you can type in broccoli, right? You get broccoli, stuff like that. Unsplash, same thing. you know. And these are great, and they're totally free. You can download it 1,000 times. They come in a lot of great sizes. You click on it, free download. You can choose the size even, you know, if you want large, whatever. You don't have to sign up. You don't have to do anything. Just go here, search for the image and download. They also have videos that you can use for background. Maybe we'll use one of those. I'll show you how to. Nah, because then you gotta upload it to YouTube. Let's just stick with the basics. So anyway, so I'll put these descriptions in the. I'll put these links in the description. All right, so our next section. This is about us. I'm just, you add your text. I'm gonna add just a little bit more. Right. I'm gonna get rid of this button. You can leave your services there. You can leave that there. And I mean, that's about it. Let's see. I think let's see some of the other things you can do. I forget what else is on here. This is the Pro. Close that up. I mean, you can give a star rating. Doesn't really mean much. It's just whatever you set it as. 9.5 or whatever. Stuff like that. Let's see. This is nice. Toggle. I'm going to try not to junk this up too much. Just play around with it, right? See? Toggle. So if you want, your information, then you click on this, then you type in your info, and you can make it, different whatever. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to delete this as well. Our about page is done. I'm going to save it. See what we got here. So this is our home page. You always got to refresh when you make a change, when you save a change, right? This is our home page. Bada-bop, bada-bop, bada-bop. I'm going to come over to About. Here's our About Me. Okay, great. Now, another way you can get to Elementor is up here in our WordPress menu bar. Right-click that baby, open in a new tab. And as soon as my ridiculously slow computer loads it, and there we go, eventually. Now, keep in mind, if you haven't used Elementor to design a page, you won't have this. Like, for example, if we go to Contact, see, we don't have that. But you do have Edit Page, which you can right-click on and open in a new tab, and we're going to do that next. And this will be our last page, and then we'll spruce up the footer, and then we'll be done. Okay? So, again, change the front page, update. Okay? Edit with Elementor. Now, just to give you some ideas, Elementor has something called Google Maps, which is right here. Click and drag that baby. Now, okay? And you have a map, which is very nice and very common. What I like to do is click in here in the white space, edit section, make this full. Okay, you can change the height, say 400, and switch the column position to stretch. Okay, now click back on this little pencil to edit this, and you can zoom in. Zoom in, hang on. Hang on. Okay. Bear with me. Don't do this. I'm just doing something real quick. What's that? This is where you put the address. Your address, mind you. I'm just using the Empire State Building just for the heck of it. So that people can get a reference point as to where you are. Here, we do 400 pixels because that's the height of our section. So you get a nice little map thing. Now, leave that as is. Go back over to your back end of your WordPress, and I want you to come to WP Forms. This is your form section. We're going to add new. Let me show you how easy this is to create a form so that people can fill out if they have a question or a request or whatever. Simple contact form, give it a name, main contact, doesn't matter what you call it, and create a simple contact form. Now I believe, yeah, WP Forms does it for you. Now you can add some stuff over here. There's free stuff here. There's advanced stuff that you can pay for, which has, you know, some more options, and advanced options that you pay for. In our settings, it's just description. You don't need to worry about that. Notifications, meaning when somebody fills out this contact form, where's it going to go? You want it to go to you. WP Forms already fills out the admin email. It's already in there. Meaning, let me show you. Let me just go to our back end. Remember this email here? Hang on. Old Betsy is getting there. This email right here that you filled out in the beginning, it automatically puts that in there. Okay. Confirmations. This is what your user will see. You can change that to anything you like. You can bold it. Bada beep, bada boop. Save that. It's very self-explanatory, very easy. Saved. Close out of there. Good. That's our main contact. Elementor. Let's update this. And then let's refresh the page. And I'll tell you why in a second. Okay. So now, when we search here, WP Forms, click and drag into our new section. Hold on, as soon as my computer goes. And there's our main contact form that we just created. Now I want to show you something a little fun. Let's add a title to this, or whatever, a heading. Drop us a line. Okay. Now, let's see. We're going to edit the section. Right click in this in the white space. We're going to select full width. Height is, say, 400. You can change it here. We're going to say position stretch. Now it's stretched. So our column is the same width as our entire section. So I'm going to right click here. I'm going to hit add new column. Now see this little dotted line and how you get this double-headed arrow? You can click and drag and make it wider. Okay. Now I'm going to right click this new column that we just created, edit column. Now you're editing this empty blank column. I'm going to select style and the background again if you remember. I'm going to click here and I'm going to upload a picture. We're almost done, guys, I swear. But it's only been maybe an hour. I've got this beach picture. Now notice how this picture is what we call portrait, meaning it's taller than it is wider. The other images were wider than they are taller. We want this taller, which is called portrait. The ones where it's wide is called landscape, but we want this portrait. Okay, gonna upload that baby. Good, good. Uploading, 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 uploading. Good. We're gonna insert that, and there we go. Remember, center, attachment. We're going to leave this default, meaning it doesn't scroll. It just stays in place. No repeat, almost always. If you repeat your image, you might as well go back in time to 1999. Don't repeat it. Use a large image from pexels.com. And then size is cover. And there we go. I think that looks nice. Just a little something, something. I'm gonna update that and see what it gives us. See what it looks like. Now, oh, let me show you something else. Now, this is our contact page, right? So you want people to contact you in different ways. Let's throw in our social media uh, section that we saved, right? Remember? So our new section down here, the gray folder button, social media, insert, hit no. Trust me, it's a headache to hit yes, and there it is. Update, meaning it's saving the page. By the way, you can also hit this little eyeball before. Let's say we delete this. Just follow me. I'm going to add it in again, just for demonstration purposes. I'm going to add it in again. Add it in again. Hang on. Bear with me. Okay, so I'm going to add it again. So instead of updating it directly, because when you update like this, it updates it live on the front end of the site, you can hit this little preview changes. And it'll show you a preview without saving it to the live site. See that? Actually, it looks a little funky. So anyway, so that's just so you can preview it. Oops. I'm going to open our front end in a new tab here. Trust me, opening new tabs is your friend in this. It just helps you, at least it helps me be less confused. If you want to keep going back and forth, by all means, but I just find this a lot more efficient. Go to our contact page. And there we are. Drop us a line, social media. This should work. There you go. Thanks for contacting us. We will be in touch shortly. Here's our button to donate to Google. Don't really do that. All right, we have one more quick thing to do that I want to show you. So I'm going to close this Elementor. We're on the front end. I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to go again to Appearance, and we're going to go to Widgets. This is for our footer. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. Sorry. Don't go there. Actually, you know what? We can. Don't worry about this sidebar. Oh, okay. So come down to this Sydney contact info, click it, and click the footer one. Title, you can put in the name of your business. Photography. Enter your address. There. Enter your phone number. Email address is great photography at mysite.com. Save that baby. You can add, let's see, an image. Again, these are fun actually. These are all click and drag as well. Now keep in mind, this is not Elementor. This is basically WordPress with a little help from the Sydney theme. You can add your image. You can usually your logo. Here. Let's see. You can play around with these. Let's see. You can add a footer 2. Main menu. We'll say quick links. Save. Don't forget to save. Footer 3. Let's see. Let's add our forms to the third section just in case people want it. I will say contact us and save. Pretty easy, right? Don't worry about the sidebar. No sidebars are showing up. Let's see what we got on the front end. Let's go to our home page by clicking our logo or home, whichever. Okay, there's our hummingbird. Let's scroll down to the bottom, and there's our new footer. And this adds in a link for you. So when people click this, it automatically emails you. Here's our quick links. Here's our form. I mean, it doesn't get any simpler than that, you know? Listen, guys, that is it. Um, it's only about an hour, I think, or so to get your own website. Now, it's going to take you a little bit more, but if you do your homework, if you come up with the colors that you want to use, uh, you have your logo, you have your images all set up, you know, it goes pretty quick. In a day, you can have your website up and running. At some point, I want to do a video where I talk more in depth about Elementor and how to use it and how to use more of the features. I just wanted to do a video to get you started in using Elementor and show you how easy it is. It's really versatile and it's really worth your time. And I hope that you guys got something out of this. Um, so with that being said, I won't spend any more time. So please click the like button if you've made it this far. Um, if you have a question, leave a comment. And please subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell icon because I usually upload every Friday night, but you know, just so you get notified. Okay, listen, that's it, guys. I appreciate you watching, and please take care of yourselves. So me and the hummingbird say bye. See you later. Tune in next time.